Welcome to Weapon Blueprint, the weekly series where I, gasoline based, take you through every weapon in TF2 and put them up for review for your pleasure. This time we're taking a look at the newest Demoman weapon, which is of course the loose cannon. Not that it's a new weapon per se, but it is in fact the newest weapon we've gotten for the class. We're digging deep under this buccaneer weapon in this video. This video consists of 3 sections. The first section covers the history of the weapon, both in the real world as well as in TF2 universe, and the appearance of the weapon often related to the history of it. The second section talks about the stats and gameplay mechanics that the weapon provides. There will be made comparisons with both stock weapons and other unlocks as well as in-depth analysis of the damage and timers that the weapon provides. The third section opens discussion about beneficial strategies using the weapon, featuring gameplay of the weapon itself. This section opens discussion as I can only speak my own opinion, so feel free to express your opinion in the comment section below the video. Let's start out by explaining what loose cannon means. From the 17th century to the 19th century, wooden warships carried cannons as their primary offensive weapons. In order to avoid damage from their enormous recoil when fired, they were mounted on rollers and secured with a rope. A loose cannon was just like what it sounds like, that is, a cannon that had become free of its ropes and was rolling dangerously around the deck. Victor Hugo explains in his novel 93 from 1874 the loose cannon.
The carronade, hurled forward by the pitching, dashed into this knot of men and crushed forward at its first blow. Then, flung back and shot out anew by the rolling, it cut in two a fifth poor fellow. This enormous cannon was left alone. She was given up to herself. She was her own mistress, and mistress of the vessel. She could do what she willed with both.
In modern times, the phrase is used by someone uncontrollable or unpredictable. The weapon itself in-game is a hand cannon, which has a barrel clearly inspired by old ship cannons. It replaces the Demoman's primary weapon, the grenade launcher, when in use. The loose cannon doesn't fire pills or pipes, whatever you want to call them, it fires cannonballs instead. They won't detonate upon contacting an enemy, instead the cannonballs deal moderate damage and they inflict a lot of knockback, which can be used to create distance and disrupt enemy movement. Once the primary fire button is pressed, 1 second after the cannonball will explode. However, the player can choose to keep holding the primary fire button to make the cannonball explode earlier. Hitting an enemy with both impact and explosive damage yields a double donk, which guarantees a mini crit. Let's take a look at the raw stats, shall we? So on the weapon itself it says this: cannonballs have a fuse time of 1 second. Fuses can be primed to explode earlier by holding down the fire key. Cannonballs push players back on impact. Cannonballs do not explode on impact. Minus 50% damage on contact with surfaces. On top of this, we also have the ability to deal mini crit damage if the timing is right, which will yield double donk. Personally, I've never been a big user of this weapon. In fact, I've never actually equipped it before, and I didn't even have it in my backpack, so I had to rent it from the store. And I'm not sure why. So I contacted the one and only Flying Demoman. He's an amazing Demoman, and he's especially known for his incredible charge turning videos. I highly recommend you check out his channel. All you have to do is click the annotation on the screen. And don't worry, the video won't stop and his channel opens in a new window. What you're watching currently is a POV on CP Whitefrost. It's a 4v4 match. Charge turning has since then been removed from the game, but he still has a great archive of videos about the cannon especially, and the subclass Cannon Knight. The fact that charge turning has been removed doesn't mean you can no longer play the class. It's still a ton of fun, but not nearly as effective. When you wear the cannon, there are 2 major ways to play with it. You can either go Cannon Knight or stock Demoman. The cannon is especially useful with the charge and the screen, as you can prime the cannon and jump with it by shooting it like a rocket launcher when rocket jumping. This is also demonstrated in the match. If you're playing stock Demoman It really comes down to preference if you want to use the grenade launcher or the cannon. I asked him why he preferred the loose cannon over the grenade launcher, for reasons other than jumping and knockback. And he said that the ability to deny everything in the air, be it jumping soldiers, demos, or scouts, is a big part of the upsides. It basically keeps the skies clear, which is a big thing in 6s and 4s. I recommend checking out this in a pub, because it's super rewarding to play with and the double donks are super satisfying to get. I hope you enjoyed this version of Weapon Blueprint, and if you did, make sure to let me know with a comment and a rating. I'm also trying something different this time around, where instead of you leaving a comment with your weapon choice and me having to go through them, all you have to do is click one of the 3 annotations on the screen, and you can pick from the 3 weapons I put up. In this week you can choose between the Scottish Resistance, the Kritzkrieg, or the Buff Banner. Pick the one you like, and the weapon with most votes gets a spot in the next episode. That's all for this time. Again, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Weapon Blueprint, and if you want to get notifications when the next one is out, feel free to subscribe to my channel, Gasoline Based. That's all for now, I'm out.